Uh, I'm Sandeep Kumar, a PhD student in Ancient History, Center for Historical Studies, JNU. So my question is, on secularism, Yuval Noah Harari in his book 21 Lessons for 21st Century dedicated one section on secularism in his book, where he tries to redefine. So Yuval Noah Harari in his book 21 Lessons for 21st Century dedicated a section on secularism, where he tries to redefine secularism for 21st century. In short, for him, secularism means questioning and rationality. According to you, do we really need to redefine secularism for 21st century or completely discard it in Indian context? Thank you.
Okay. So anybody who knows my positions, which option do you think I stand for? Discarding secularism. Redefining secularism means, in principle, accepting the validity of a Western concept for Bharatiya civilization without asking why. Or trying to find, oh no, hum bhi secular hai. Come on, let's pull out some justifications from the Vedas and Upanishads for this. That is retrofitting a Western concept to somehow assuage your own inferiority complex. To say that I am equally Western, but from an Indian sense. How stupid is that argument? What is the problem in asking, why is secularism a valid principle for this country? Now, the only question that you should be asking is, does it translate to exclusion of certain groups and identities? Or is there a better way to accommodate it? Given the weaponization of this particular concept, I am unable to buy the notion that Indian style secularism is even remotely comparable to European style secularism. It is a uniquely Indian jantu, which conveniently looks at France when it needs to, which conveniently looks at UK when it needs to, which conveniently looks at United States when it needs to. This is an Avkashwadi of the first order, who doesn't have a core nature to define. That's precisely why in the Constituent Assembly debates it was said that this word and this concept is capable of so many definitions and mischievous definitions that let's not use it. It was kept outside the pale of the express language of the Constitution precisely for this reason. They discuss several versions and then they say drop this word. It has multiple meanings. The only provision where secular as a word was present, even before its introduction in 1976, was in 25.2a or 25.2b, where it speaks of secular aspects of a religious institution. In that sense, it simply distinguishes religious aspects of a religious institution from secular aspects of the religious institution, which is management, finances, so on and so forth. That's not the same as secularism. It's not an ism in that particular sense. It's not a concept in that particular sense. I refuse to buy the fact that the experience of the last 75 years of this country is not a case study in the kind of mischief that one particular word is capable of being, let's say, pushed into service for. Secularism is perhaps the biggest mischief. The question should always be, okay, if not this, what next? Does it translate to HR? Not human rights, you know what I mean, right? Then what does it translate to for everybody else? If somebody has a question about what is HR, in the context of secularism coming from me, I'm sure what I mean. Next, so, frankly speaking, maybe we should have a really honest conversation on the origins of this particular concept. You know why we aspire for some of these concepts? At least in perhaps in a very intuitive sense. We are constantly being told